You know, what is it that makes a fight scene stick with you? It's not always about the crazy special effects or the choreography, right? Sometimes it's the story that's being told in the middle of all that action. And today, we're going to see how a whole really compelling story can play out with just a few lines of dialogue. Let's get into it. So, it all starts with this. Just two words. Show up. And you can just feel it, can't you? That's not an invitation. That is a command, a challenge. With one line, the gloves are off, and we know this is going to be a serious confrontation. All right, so that brings us to Act 1, the confrontation. The line has been drawn in the sand. But here's the thing, right from the get-go, we have a huge problem. A massive imbalance of power that pretty much changes the entire game. What's so cool about this is what's not being said out loud. The story just assumes you get it. One guy is basically a mountain of pure strength. And that immediately sets up this classic underdog story. It begs the real question of this whole fight. How in the world do you beat someone you can't possibly overpower? And that leads us right into Act 2, the strategic pivot. Okay, so going head-to-head with brute force, that's off the table. It's just not an option. So our hero has to get smart. This is where the real fight begins, not with their fists, but with a critical choice. I just love this line. It's this incredible moment of self-awareness. The character straight up admits their weakness. But listen to how it's said. There's no panic, no fear. It's just a calm, calculated observation. They know exactly what they can't do. And that knowledge, that's about to become their greatest weapon. So this is the moment, right? If you can't just smash through the wall in front of you, what do? The whole fight just hangs in the balance on this one question. We're all just leaning in, waiting for the answer. And boom, there it is, the pivot. This is so brilliant. The character doesn't just switch up their strategy a little bit. They completely change the rules of the entire fight. They're shifting the battlefield from a contest of who's stronger to a contest of who's faster and more precise. Everything just changed in that one moment. And this right here really breaks it down for us. You've got these two totally different ways to win. On one side, you've got pure strength, just overpowering your opponent, a direct assault. But on the other side, you've got speed, a path of evasion, hitting your marks with precision, and just plain outmaneuvering the other guy. Our hero chose the smarter path, and let's be honest, probably the much, much harder one. And that brings us to our final act, the core philosophy. So we've seen what the challenge is, and we know how they're going to face it. But the biggest question of all is still hanging out there. Why? Why would you actively look for a fight that seems impossible to win in the first place? The character starts to explain, but it almost feels like a warning, doesn't it? It's like they're admitting that their way of looking at the world is, well, it's harsh, maybe a little unsettling. They know this isn't for everybody, and they're not even trying to convince you. They're just telling you their truth. And there it is, the heart of it all. For this person, the fight was never about winning or losing. It's about getting stronger. The struggle is the point. Pushing yourself against something that seems impossible, that is the very thing that makes you better. That is a seriously powerful reason to fight. This whole idea actually has a name, growth through conflict. It's this philosophy that you don't run away from the biggest, scariest challenges. No, you run straight towards them, because that is the only real way to become stronger than you were yesterday. And you can actually break this whole philosophy down into a really simple cycle. First, you have to go out and seek a real challenge. You got to pursue the tough fights. Second, that pressure forces you to adapt. You have to find new ways to survive, just like our character pivoted from strength to speed. And finally, when it's all over, you grow. You come out of it stronger than you went in. So think about it. We started with a challenge, show up. That forced a strategic pivot away from strength towards speed. And that whole decision revealed a deep personal philosophy. We become stronger by fighting. That's an entire story, a whole character arc, all told in just 3 simple moves. It's incredible. So what's the big takeaway here? Well, it just goes to show how powerful and efficient great storytelling can be. It proves that you learn who a character really is, not by what they say, but by the choices they make when they're backed into a corner. And it's a huge reminder that conflict, whether it's in a story or in our own lives, can be a massive engine for growth. Which kind of leaves us with one final big question to chew on. Is this character right? Is facing down those huge, overwhelming challenges, is that truly the only way we achieve real, meaningful growth? It's a heavy question for sure, and definitely one worth thinking about.